Imagine, in the deep sea 20 million years from now, amidst absolute solitude, you see a hand, a human hand, with an unsettling plea for help from the cold, dark crevice. Do you approach? Or does instinct warn you that this is no salvation, but an invitation from hell itself? How did the genetic code of a tiny bony fish, once a simple predator from 400 million years ago, morph into this master of deception, a perfect assassin aimed directly at the human soul? Let's decode this anthropomorphic nightmare. Approximately 400 million years ago, the ancestor of most modern bony fish emerged with a pivotal anatomical breakthrough: flexible fin rays and a swim bladder system for buoyancy control. This structure allowed them to escape dependence on the seafloor, achieving neutral buoyancy within the water column, to move with precision and agility in three-dimensional space. The formation of rayed fins not only enhanced maneuverability, but also served as the foundation for these appendages to transform into specialized tools later on. This was the bedrock of biodiversity, enabling this lineage to occupy every ecological niche, from the sunlit surface to the darkest reaches of the primordial oceans. By the 92 million year mark, a branch of bony fish began migrating to the deep sea floor, benthic zone, to seek a new ecological niche. To conserve energy in a nutrient-poor environment, its first dorsal fin spine evolved into a biological fishing rod, Elysium, tipped with a soft, fleshy lure. This shift marked a transition from pursuit-based hunting to passive ambush. Instead of expending energy to swim, this fish learned to remain stationary and deceive prey into approaching it. This was a revolution in biological efficiency, allowing them to survive in waters where food was a rare luxury. This was the historical moment when evolution decided to break the swimming function of the dorsal fin to transform it into a mechanical deception tool. This change converted the creature from a participant in the speed race into a patient angler, opening the first chapter for the dominance of biological traps in the ocean. Around 61 million years ago, this lineage moved deep into the midnight zone, where eternal darkness reigns and pressure can crush any conventional structure. To adapt, their bodies became flaccid, with a skeletal frame reduced to a minimum to save calcium, while developing extreme sexual dimorphism, where males became permanent parasites on females to ensure the continuation of the species in the void. This physiological streamlining allowed them to operate as low-energy ghosts, consuming the absolute minimum while achieving maximum survival efficiency. The permanent fusion of the male into the female's circulatory system was a bizarre yet effective evolutionary leap, solving the daunting puzzle of finding a mate in the vast, pitch-black expanse of the deep abyss. 50 million years ago, a specialized branch began prioritizing reach over movement speed. Their fishing rod lengthened abnormally, ending in a primitive bioluminescent sac containing photogenic bacteria. This structure allowed them to lure prey from a safe distance, far beyond the prey's olfactory or mechanical detection of the predator's actual body. This strategy helped the fish minimize the risk of counterattack or detection by the victim's highly sensitive sensory organs. This was the stage where the lineage began mastering the art of visual deception, turning the lure into an entity that operated entirely independently from the main body in the deep dark. In the present day, Gigantactus is the pinnacle of abyssal sophistication, featuring a rod several times its body length. The tip of the rod is a light organ, Esca, filled with symbiotic bacteria, capable of pulsing rhythmically to mimic the movement of small crustaceans or plankton. This chemical symbiosis transforms light into a lethal language, allowing Gigantactus to actively manipulate prey behavior. Its jet-black body remains nearly invisible in the water, turning the darkness into its greatest ally, ensuring the predator remains a complete mystery to the victim until the final second. The emergence of Gigantactus marks the turning point where bioluminescence is no longer an accidental spark, but a psychological control tool. This is the stage where the creature reaches perfection in using bacteria as fuel for nature's most sophisticated light traps. In 5 million years, as the deep-sea ecosystem sees the return of megafauna, Gigantactus colossus emerges with a length of 15 meters. To adapt to larger targets, they have evolved a heavily reinforced jaw and a thicker rod, capable of withstanding tons of pulling force from the giant squids and marine mammals of the future. Gigantic size allows them to shift from baiting small prey to hunting abyssal megafauna. All previous flaccid structures are replaced by durable muscle fibers and a robust ligament system, turning the fishing rod into a heavy-duty lure retrieval tool under extreme pressure. 10 million years later, Chirolophius reaches a length of 25 meters, featuring a multi-lobed lure organ controlled by the central nervous system. Through precise mechanical pulses and bioluminescent coordination, this organ can change shape and color to create silhouettes mimicking high-intelligence organisms. This evolution allows them to target the most intelligent prey, those naturally wary of single light points. By mimicking the shapes of familiar objects or creatures, Chirolophius creates a perfect psychological trap, leading victims into an inescapable strike zone. Here, the lure is no longer an inanimate spark. It is a deceptive social communicator. The ability to control the complex morphology of the rod marks a shift toward an ultimate biological artificial intelligence hunting method. After 20 million years, in the deepest oceanic trenches, the entity Monstrum manuum reveals itself at a length of 50 meters. Its fishing rod has now reached a state of perfect, anthropomorphic mimicry, accurately recreating the skin tone, folds, and movements of a human hand through a multi-layered bioluminescent system and sophisticated muscular sacs. It utilizes this hand as a psychological lure in coastal shallows or near shipwrecks to attract human curiosity. Evolution has bent every rule of nature, turning a fish into a specialized hunter, targeting the planet's most intelligent species using their own image. Every movement of the lure is the result of millions of years of pressure and darkness, forged into an ultimate assassin beyond human imagination. This 400 million year journey is more than just a story of change. It is an eternal anthem of adaptation, pushed to the very edges of the uncanny. In the world of the deep ocean, truth is but an illusion illuminated by the most patient of hunters. Remember, in the eternal darkness, evolution never rests. It is still watching you, learning to become you, and waiting.